6, 7 years in the IFBB, but it's been very mostly popular in Brazil, because in Brazil, those ladies have those strong, as like this notable that we often say on my channel, those strong Afro aesthetics.
Right.
Because many of those women in Brazil are Afro descent. You get the next, our sisters, your sisters, you have natural bigger hips and thighs compared to the other minorities or ethnic groups.
Yeah, and that's definitely true. Um, it is a cross between bikini. So they want you to have a bikini upper body and like that bodybuilding lower body. Um, when it comes to your quads, glutes, hamstrings, right? So it's definitely a cross of the 2.
hmm Here we got a question from my man. My man Brooks says, Queen Sandra, when did you realize you wanted to join the sport of the alpha athletes, the world of bodybuilding?
When I saw my physique changing, right? So when I started to notice a change in my physique, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can hang with the best of them. Let me put in the hard work and see where I go, right? It's all about staying focused, putting in that hard work, and being motivated. So just seeing how my physique has changed and how it's constantly changing keeps me motivated into the sport and keeps me trying to be on the top, right? So um, definitely when I started to see a change in my physique is when that took place.
hmm Yeah, because that's one thing about bodybuilding. It's a process. Developing, building, working on things, working on your strength as much as your weaknesses. And one thing is about not much about motivation, because sometimes we had like conversations about the difference between motivation and discipline. Discipline is something you have to be constantly on. You have to be consistent. You can't deviate from anything. You got to stay, not motive, stay focused on your goals, because motivation can change. Because some days you might get up and say, "Hey, it's raining outside. I don't feel like I want to go to the gym." But that thing is that discipline says, it's raining outside. I'm just gonna go to the gym anyway.
Right, that kicks in. You go to the gym, rain, shine. I've done it all. It's been, we had snow out here. I was like, I still need to get my butt up and go to the gym.
See, I live in the South. We don't have snow. We did have some, like around about March, but then it didn't last barely half a day. But here, this is how my other guy says. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes in a place when it snows, even if it's a foot, no one blinks an eye. But when it's down here south, it's half an inch. Everybody goes crazy. But that's how
They
it is sometimes.
do. I live in California, so it's not normal in my area. So when we do get it, it's just like, okay, there's going to be cycles on the highway. So
Yeah, yeah.
let
Because
me
I
just
mean,
be careful. Make it
yeah.
to the gym, make it home safely.
Yeah, everybody goes to the store buy milk and bread and everything. Say, wait a minute, it's not gonna. The store's not gonna last that long. You don't need all that milk and bread. It's one thing we have hurricanes.
We
We have those
definitely need
bad.
that out here.
Yeah,
And all the toilet paper.
y'all have hurricanes. We have hurricanes, but when snow comes, everybody goes crazy. Here you got a man, Mr. Fix It, coming through. Shout out to him. He says, uh, "Great video. She is a winner, and you keep doing these shows. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that."
Thank
One
you.
more from my man Brooke Burrell. He says this. He says, "Queen Chandra, do you have any advice for a aspiring bodybuilder in a wheelchair who wants to work out every day, every 4 hours?"
So I wouldn't work out every 4 hours. All you need to do is you need an hour or two a day. And just go for work on the things that you can work. So from what I've seen in this sport and people being, in a wheelchair, it's all about working on your strength, which is your upper body. Um, do modified, uh, exercises, but you can still be accomplished within the sport of bodybuilding being in a wheelchair. So stay focused, don't give up, and keep moving forward.
Yeah, like Rocky Balboa. No matter how hard you hit, it's how hard you take the hit and keep moving forward. That's
Keep
how
moving
winning is
forward.
done. Yo, Adrian. So sorry, I go flipping
Because
now.
I believe there's no such thing as failure, right? I believe it's always a lesson. that's learned, but there's no such thing as failure.
Yeah, that's good. So, what was the decision for me to move from wellness to physique?
My upper body got too big. I naturally have a big back, and so I started working my upper body a lot more, and it got too big. So the judges said, either lose the muscle in your upper body or go up in class. So I go, I worked too hard for this muscle, I'm gonna go up in class. The funny part is I was going to do figure. And so I got ready, went to Virginia to do a show, my first figure show. Got there and forgot my shoes at home. I took them out my bag, repacking, forgot my shoes. So it was just a crazy week for me. Seeing some of the judges at the hotel, they go, "You're doing physique, right?" I go, "No, I'm doing figure." They go, "No, do physique." Thank God. And I say everything happens for a reason. I got on stage and won both of my classes, and I took overall in physique. I had 24 hours to learn the posing for physique, which was insane. But I say everything happens for a reason, and me forgetting my shoes was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I know ladies who do bikini, wellness, fitness. Those divisions where you still have to wear the high heels. I mean,
Right?
the stories I've told where sometimes you have to really try to find a way to get them on, 'cause especially you have big feet. And then
Yeah.
one lady
And
told me
then the
how.
nails.
Yeah, and one lady told me sometimes what she do is take her blow dryer and just try to loosen up the straps. But then you get tired of that. It feels more natural to pose and move around barefooted. I remember a
It
lady.
does.
Yeah, I remember a lady a while back. She showed me an interview where she was going to do a show. She was doing physique, but it also told her, "Hey, try to do bodybuilding." And she got a pro card in bodybuilding
Oh,
because
wow.
she learned all the mandatory poses within a 24-hour period.
Yeah, similar to my situation.
Yeah.
So I tell people nothing's impossible. Shoot, you just have to stay prayed up, work hard, and just go for it.
Yeah.
If
Like
it's
Hulk,
meant to be, it'll be.
Hulk Hogan used to say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and eat your vegetables. Like we got here a comment from my man, shout out to my man, Brooke particularly here. He says, Queen Sandra, my workout regimen is I do 12 sets of 40 push-ups, which is equal to 408 push-ups. Ooh, I do 5 sets of sit-ups, which is equal to 300 sit-ups, and I lift weights, and that is too much. Yeah, brother. I mean, yeah, wow. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Maybe when I was younger, but you'd be pushing it now.
That is a little extreme. I would say you need to definitely get a workout plan. Get with a coach, a trainer that can provide you with a workout plan that you can do daily, just to make sure that you're hitting all the muscle groups and not overdeveloping just one muscle. So if you reach out to me on Instagram, I would love to help you out.
Yeah, because you are a personal trainer and also you are a nutritionist, right?
Correct.
And when did you start getting to that? When you started getting to bodybuilding more?
I did. So I got certified back in 2019. So for me, I'm the type of person I can't go out and do something unless I know why I'm doing it. So I spent a lot of time researching, which I still do. A lot of my clients they have health issues, so I have to figure out what's going to work best for them because there's no one size fits all to this. So I went out, got certified, researched. Everything I could for me. And now that's passed on to my clients where if they come in, I have one client with the AFib. So I have to train her a certain way. She has to eat certain foods because she's a diabetic as well, right? So it takes a lot of research. There's no cookie cutter approach to it. And so the end goal is coming up with something that's going to work best for them.
That's not something because you know what I can tell you serious about myself. I've had a pacemaker. I almost had for 10 years, and also I was one point because I was taking my mom. food became, comfort. But I learned that after that, after she passed, I said, I had to change my ways. I've done some good stuff, and even though I'm not perfect, I can, I fall back on bad habits, and that's hard to do. But one thing about this process, it's not about just trusting it, but when you're understanding, then you fully trust it. You have your faith in it. Because sometimes
Correct.
it's not easy. Everybody, like I talk about, this, especially when it comes to the sport of bodybuilding, and you come to your trainer, your coach, who you're working with. Everything doesn't work for everybody, especially for women. Y'all biology different compared to men. What might work for a guy may not work for a woman. And then also the factors of if you deal with issues of any kind of existing, medical condition, or any kind of like ladies who told me they have food allergies, certain foods,
Right.
and so much involvement. Like your coach, who's your coach and how long y'all been together?
Right now I just got a new coach. So been with him for gosh, 2 months now.
Who's your
So
coach? Who's your 2 months? So what happened with you and your other coach?
that's a story for another
Uh,
day.
so and who you work with now as a coach?
I'm with Dave Palumbo.
Jumbo Palumbo?
Yes.
Whoa, I know a lady. I know a lady. Her name is Sharon. She works with her and her husband John. They work with Jumbo.
Yes.
Oh
So
wow, that's a legend. He never been a pro, but that guy's a legend. He runs RX Muscle. I follow his content. He drops some great advice every now and then. Some stuff can be hit or miss, but there's this video I saw him. Somebody sent it to me. He was on an episode of Conan O'Brien. If you ever saw it, he's supposed to be the Hulk. He says, "Hulk needs love. Hulk find love," and he just get mad and he breaks a chair.
you know what? What I say, if you want to be the best, you have to surround yourself with the best, right? And that's how I approach it.
Yeah, I know a gentleman. He's a friend of mine. His name is Big Keith Williams. He knows Dave, and he's a pretty, he's a legend. And that's great. You got hook up with someone like him. I mean, he worked with quite a few pro level competitors and really helped their careers. So, folks, while we have Sandra here with us, we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. You want to follow her? Her links in the description of the live stream. Reach out, interest and support. But guys, I tell this to you all the time, guys. Don't be that weird guy. Don't see she got kids, man. She got kids. So don't be weird. Come on, So we're gonna jump here into social media for a bit. If you want to follow her, you can check her out. And also interested in maybe working with her as a coach and a trainer, let her know because that does help the ladies financially, especially as competitors. And here we are. And here we go. Here goes your boy here. Your boy, he's a man
That is my
now.
boy,
Yeah. And what's his name?
Xavier Javier.
Oh, Professor Xavier. Yeah. So
Yes.
and it's good. I know he supports his mom. Has he ever come to your shows?
They used to. However, they're like, Mom, it's too long of a day for us. We'll watch it, we'll stream it. However, we're not coming. But they're
Well, that's
extremely supportive. They help keep me on track, especially when it comes to food. So they understand that for the most part, I'm on a strict diet. So they know that if they want something that I can't have, they're not allowed to bring it in the house. They have to eat it outside the house. But I'm grateful. They eat clean as well. They eat pretty much whatever I eat, but there are times when they want that pizza or fried chicken. I'm like, just eat it outside the house and we're all good.
or go to your granddaddy's house and eat, or your aunt's house and eat. You don't have to eat
Right?
around me. Yeah, that's
And
that's
my
the thing. And
dad will definitely barbecue them some food or cook them some chicken. I'm like, you guys go over there, I'll stay home.
yeah, that's the thing is that's the tough part about being a bodybuilder because your diet is going to be very strict because you can't eat the things that everyday people eat. I know this afternoon I got a thing of spare ribs and chicken and a little rice. That was I had a burrito that afternoon after I left the doctor's office. But those things that's not conducive and helpful to a diet, especially
No,
that's
it's not. And it's become a thing where I've been eating clean for so long. If I introduce something that I haven't had into my body, it makes me sick. It literally feels like I need to go to the hospital. So I'm very aware and cautious about what I put into my body. So everything that I eat, for the most part, I'm cooking it. Unless I get a cheat meal and I'm going to get burger and fries. But I'm very particular about what I consume.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. It's important, especially the fact of growing as an athlete. This is we here's a little pictures from her at the she did the Ultima Classic, which was probably one of the stacked lineups for the year. I mean, for women's physique. I mean, it was a couple other shows, but here's pictures here and looking from the back and here. Wow, yeah, you get some great conditioning. Yeah, I forgot what was your placing at the show.
I placed 12. And
So
I believe there was 20 or 21 women
uh,
in my
19. It was 19 because I know lady she was
oh
going to do the show,
19.
but she dropped out. And the lady you placed 11 behind, that's a lady. She's a friend of mine, Megan Russell. Megan Russell. That was her second show as a pro. She turned pro last year also, just like you did.
Yeah, there was some spectacular, amazing women at the show. So I'm truly blessed that I got to be on the stage beside them all. So it just makes me want to work even harder.
Yeah, the thing is, it was like I said, it was a stacked lineup. I mean, congratulations to Rachel Daniels, and I know she's going to her third Olympia.
Right.
Some ladies there, they one lady who took fourth, Marika Jones, interviewed her a couple of times, and I follow her on social media. Amazing lady. Some other ladies that are also in that top category with some. I mean, there was some stellar talent, and you come in 12th in a class of almost 20 women. That's pretty good. That's almost as many women, if not as many women as it's in Olympia, because usually it's like at least about 20 or more women, but still to come in 12th out of almost 20. Here's just a little picture here. This is from the back. Oh, wow. What was yeah, yeah.
I'm definitely not disappointed.
Yeah, you
I'm
shouldn't be.
sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I mean, you put in time to work. What did you get any critique from the judges? What did they tell you need to work on?
So my judges' feedback, they said come in leaner, and then get back on stage, keep my physique. They love my physique, but just come in leaner next time. So that's what I'm working towards, just more conditioning.
Yeah, that's the thing about that. You always want to come in your best condition and your best shape, especially just to show that it's not a. I would say it's not one of the bigger shows, but like I said again, they had a stacked lineup,
Correct.
and to maintain like in the top 15 with nearly 20 women, and then still need to work on a few things. That's the thing is, what you feel like is your best physical feature.
Oh, I would have to say my back. I love my back. I love my back days. It used to be my legs. I used to focus heavily on my legs. My upper body days used to turn into leg days. Now I'm just like back all day long.
Yeah, I tell you, you had a great back. You know what? If I pay you, you mind me be your massage therapist? I studied when I was in college.
As long as it's a deep tissue massage.
All right, I know how to work those, like I said, but I'll be gentle, But yeah, I think everybody has that one thing that is their best feature. That especially I know certain ladies like great abs, great shoulders, great pectorials, and then you have to work on your weaknesses, which is you feel like it's your weakness that you need to work on the most.
I need to work on my glutes. So I definitely need to work on my glutes and get them as lean as I possibly can. And my hamstrings. My quads, I can work quads all day. When it comes to hamstrings and glutes, I'm like, do I have to?
I know.
But I do it anyways. But
Yeah, everybody has that workout they don't like the least. I mean, yeah, glutes, hamstrings, legs, anything. So they say they don't like doing arms, some like doing chest. But like I said again, if you work on those strengths and improve on your weaknesses, you really come all like the overall bodybuilder.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
And so that's the focus right now, adding more glutes and hammies to my training during the week. And then just, coming in leaner overall.
Yeah.
So
All right, excuse. We have here. This is Mech 19 9. He said, amazing. She's amazing. I think this is my friend Tony McMurtry, I believe it is. She's IFB Pro. Shout out to Tony. And also we have here, yeah, and this is also we have here is Brooke Burrell says, Queen Sandra, or would you be willing to train an inspiring bodybuilder in a wheelchair? Like you said earlier, all you got to do, if you want to, Brooke, the link is in the description of the live. Reach out. Genuine interest, Brooke, that you really want to work on this. This is not, you just don't, she has a lot of time. She has kids to take care of. She's focused. Hey, don't waste your time. Be serious about it. So now, after this, this is a question I actually raised. Even though you don't eat like certain foods, but still, you do eat your refeed your cheat meals. What was that thing that was calling you, Sandra? That thing that you desired. That thing is that often sometimes make you stranger, but it makes you stronger.
You know what? I'm so weird at this point when it comes to food. All I wanted was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. A
That's
peanut
basic.
butter and jelly sandwich. That's it. I was like, I'm going to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich when I come off stage. That's all I wanted. With sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread. I don't know. I mean, I like I said, if I eat peanut butter, it'd be peanut butter and jelly and be like regular bread. I might toast it. Sourdough, I
Oh,
don't
it
know,
has to
man.
be toasted. And I have to mix the peanut butter with the jelly and then spread it on there. Oh, it's so good.
That's how we do it. This is how we do it in our community. We don't put it like the jelly here and jelly there. We mix it together.
No, it
There's
has to
one.
be mixed together.
Yeah,
And
y'all.
then
That's
my second option is rice and banana. Okay, don't look at me crazy now. So I have my rice, I put my banana in there, smash it up, warm it up, and it tastes like a dessert. It tastes like you're cheating.
that's kind of well. You know what? I heard some different types. One I think that really kind of got me was one lady told me she loves sushi, and
Oh, that too. Yeah.
this is me. I grew up poor, but never that poor where I had to eat cold raw fish. I just, that's not. That's something that I would never do. But yeah, I think we go back to the again. The diet is the most important part about being a bodybuilder and training and understanding the facts that helps you grow. We got here a question from my man Brooke. He's been saying, hey, thank you, brother, for coming. He says, Queen Sandra, what would you say in the most difficult part of being a bodybuilder?
Oh, the most difficult part is posing. Posing is worse than actually training and sticking to your meal plan. So that's the worst part about bodybuilding is posing. And you have to pose daily. You don't want to get on stage looking like crap, right? So, but posing is definitely the hardest part for me.
Hmm. Like, are you working with a posing coach right now, or who is it?
My posing coach is Sid Gillian.
The
Yeah,
eight time Miss. Oh wow, you got some names on here. Yeah, you got Jumbo Palumbo, you got Sid Gillian. I think this weekend is her Peach show in Atlanta. I mean,
correct.
Sid, you know what? Sid, she actually her and one of my favorite all time people. They share a coach. That is the producer, and she's partners and friends with a lady who I'm a fan of, and that is Andrea Shaw.
Yeah, she
I
looks amazing too.
I mean, she's so beautiful. This is, and I often, and I know you guys who follow my channel, and I know I do this because this is something I like to do. This is something, as my other guy like to say, if you get us something, never do it for free. And this is for me, how well I do this content. A friend of mine, her name is Eunice, and I always shout Eunice. She runs a company, Bad Rap, and she was at the Olympia back in 2023. She saw Andrea. She had an issue of this. This is the last issue of Muscle Development, where that's the hardcover. Andrea was on it. The first female bodybuilder in ages to be on a solo cover. Last issue, and while she was there, she had Andrea to sign it for me.
That is amazing.
It's
She's beautiful too. She's amazing.
Yes, I think she's the woman that saved women's bodybuilding when she came into Olympia back in 2020. Because at one point we almost lost bodybuilding; it was being pushed out, and so few shows, and Physique was coming in. I wasn't too big fan of Physique division. I called it watered down women's bodybuilding. But one guy I always want to say shout out to him who saved women's bodybuilding, and that is Mr. Jake Wood, the president of the Women's Strength, owner of the Olympia. Yo Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. I can't help it. Every time I see him, I gotta say it. And it's like how divisions have evolved over time. Like if you look at it now, if you look at like you in Physique, you look at people like Rachel, and also you look at Sarah Vigors, the current champion, Natalia, and you coming from wellness to Physique. What who do you really admire or just have respect for as a competitor?
What I admire is the hard work that we all go through, right? Just the fact that we can change our physique and evolve. But what I admired the most is the hard work. And even during, competition day, I'm looking at the women and I'm telling everybody, you look amazing. Don't be nervous. I'm in the back supporting everybody. But it's just, knowing what they went through because I'm going through it too. So I admire the hard work.
Yeah, because this is hard work. Most people, if you look at bodybuilding, they always associate it with performance enhancers and steroids. Everybody says, if I take this, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can like agony, and I can get to the chopper. But here's what I learned: it's only a very small percentage of what they use, the gear. If you don't follow the diet, if you are not consistent and persistent on your workouts, you're not regimental on your plans. You can take all the shit you can take, but you're not going to look like the Andrea Shaws, or even you look at there's a guy who's popular. His name's Sam Solik. He's very popular on social media. Those people still have to train and work hard and be consistent on their diets and their
Correct.
planning workout plans.
That is absolutely correct. Because I've seen people walk around and they talk about, well, I'm doing this and that, and good, he man. And I'm looking at them like, you look like crap, and then you see them out and about on their IGs and they're drinking and eating a massive amount of food. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You're screwing up your body for what? You have to be willing and able to put in the work. You
Yeah,
can't get around that at
yeah.
all.
Yeah, it is about work, because you know what? If you don't put in hard work, you don't go in the gym and train and follow the instructions like what Dave gives you, and also the stuff that Sydney's working with you. You're not going to be the top level competitors. Here a man, Vito Bill. Shout out him. He says this. He says, in great shape. Appreciate that. He also says, great show guys. I appreciate that too, brother. Also, it's my man, Brooke Burrell. Shout out to Brooke. He says, Queen Sandra, you are the definition of super athlete. And also one thing, Queen, he says, Queen Sandra, what foods do you truly miss eating while you become the super supreme athlete?
You know what? It depends on what phase I'm in. Sometimes I miss chips. Our French fries. I love French fries. But I think those are the two things in tacos. I can eat like so many tacos. But other than that, I'm so used to eating clean. When I do have a chance to eat a cheat meal, I'm like, I want my ground turkey back. But yeah, definitely tacos, chips, and French fries.
Yeah, that thing is, some people they love those carbs. They're beautiful when you digest it, but sometimes it can be harmful when you, especially your process as an athlete. It's good,
Correct.
yeah, it's good to eat smart, but every now and then it's like a, as long as you get a little something that tastes really good, and that smell. But like I said again, you got kids at the house, and I know the kids they don't say, "Mom, what you cooking?" Well, I'm cooking you this. I'm eating this. So
Yes.
and y'all stay over there in y'all corner, and I stay over here.
So I meal prep every week. So I already have my meals prepared. So I do cook them dinner. So I make them dinner and I go upstairs and they eat. The good thing is that all three of them they know how to cook. So my oldest son, he'll go on there and cook a 3 course meal for everyone in the house. And then I have to put like a towel underneath my door so I don't smell it. He's like, I'm cooking steak and potatoes. You want some? I'm like, you know I can't have it. He goes, I know. I was just trying to see what you're going to
That you're supposed to do.
say.
That was to the boy. Say, boy, mm.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to that, we get away from the food now. Now you turned pro. That was the teen collegiate show in
And
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
And what was that feeling when they told you? Because a friend of mine also, she turned pro that show too. What's that feeling when they officially say now you're IFBB pro?
You know what? The first thing that came to my mind, I was like, I can go change my Instagram name now. And then after that, it was, okay, let me go get to work so I can do my next show, right? Let me go improve. It didn't fully hit me until I got back home, and my family were, everyone was congratulating me, and it's just like I really did it. This is what I worked for. So I felt great. I felt truly blessed because not everyone has that opportunity.
Yeah, because I know some ladies who have competed for a long time and then never turned pro. Some it took them years before they got the pro cards. I've interviewed a couple ladies who got their pro card within the time they made their debut as competitors. Some even less than a year or two, because I think
Right.
there's more divisions now. There was back in the day. There's women's bodybuilding. Now you have physique figure. There's a new division coming out. Excuse me. Every time I talk about it, I don't want to mention it, but I can't help myself. I'm just not a fan of it. But yeah, it's that experience, that time, you work you put in, and then and get rewarded for it because you feel like I bet you feel like it's like something out of a movie. Like I did it, like Rocky. Remember in a Rocky 2 when he says I did it, yeah, I did it. Were your kids there, or was it just you by yourself?
I was there by myself. So, but
Oh,
I kept in constant communication with everyone. Everyone was texting me. So, what's going on now? Did you figure out if you want it or not? Send us pictures. And so, yeah, it really didn't hit me that I actually achieved one of my goals until days later.
now, one thing is you made your pro debut the same time you turned pro. Most competitors take like maybe a year or two out, for it so they can grow. Why was that decision? Because
That was the decision of my coach at the time.
uh
So my first show was Daytona Pro, and I placed top 5 in that show.
that's pretty good. I mean, I think who won that show was Elena Alvarez. She won that show, and and there was another lady who competed. I interviewed Kathleen. She